All right, everyone, it's 6 o'clock. This is Tasha Hodes, and welcome to Forex for Beginners. We do this call on Tuesdays at 6 p.m. Eastern to help you get transitioned and introduced to a lot of the Forex concepts that you'll hear with our Epic Master Traders and with the back office that is coming soon in October. So with that being said, I like to start off each class with just a quick overview of Epic and everything that it has to offer. So what we're looking at on the screen now. But first, let me do an audio and sound check. If my audio is clear, can you give me a 5 in the chat if you can hear me pretty well? A 5 in the chat if it sounds okay. All right, thank you. Great, great. All right, so welcome to Epic, everyone. We are in pre-launch. It's so exciting for the month of September. We officially launch on October 1st. And so, as you all know, we got in for September at just $20, and we have access to the 3 live sessions at 7 a.m. Eastern for the New York session, then 9 p.m. Eastern for the Asian session. And then if you're up, 2 a.m. Eastern for the London session. In addition to that, we have access to the trade signals that Epic is putting out from our master traders. So the same ones that are doing the live calls, which by the way, are broken up into beginner, intermediate, and advanced. So make sure you check with your sponsor and get access to the weekly schedule that comes out on, I think it's the Epic News Telegram. I know for my team, there's so many telegrams, we try to copy the most important information into our team telegram. But that weekly schedule is important because you can kind of scout out your favorite traders, or you can break it down into beginner, intermediate, and advanced and go to the ones that is appropriate, for where you are. So with the live calls, we have access to the Epic Forex signals. Those trades are putting out, thousands and thousands of pips every week. So with that said, on October 1st is when the back office, the academy or the university is launching. And that also will be broken down into beginner, intermediate, and advanced. So I am so looking forward to that. I have learned so much just in the last couple of weeks from our live traders. So I'm super excited about what that back office is going to look like. So with that said, give me a second and I will share my screen and we will get started. There is one video that I want to review first, just to help kind of onboard our new members. I created this video this week, so I'll spend just a few minutes going over that. So one second. Okay, I have the one that I want to share. So this one is entitled Getting Started with Epic. So I'll just quickly review some of the highlights of the company. So when you first sign up, we all have access to our own replicated site. And so when we want to share this with others, we give them our site. It's epictrading.com/ followed by our username. So there are a couple of ways to find your username. One of the easiest ways is to check your email. When you first signed up, there was a welcome to Epic Trading in the subject. That was the email from Epic. Your entire site is listed there. Or if you log into your back office and look for this link icon, you'll find that under Epic Trading Share Central. That will also copy your website to the clipboard. And so then you can paste that in an email or in Telegram or wherever you want to communicate that. And then the same way that you signed up, your prospects will go to pre-launch now. Okay, so as I mentioned, the live sessions are in your back office. And let me zoom in a bit. So what you'll do is click on live sessions, and you can select either that 2 a.m., 7 a.m., or 9 p.m., whatever is more convenient for you. And this is also where the recordings are kept as well. So if you want to look back, if you notice this says 1 of 13, so you can kind of scroll through to the session that you were looking for. Now, when you have a new team member to join, when you log into your back office, if you look at my team and then placement hold, you will see a 1, or the number of people that have signed up and are now in your holding tank. So if you click on that, so let's say I had a test person who was my new person, I would click on update placement. And when I clicked on that person, so now I can place them. So let's say this is a made up number. If this was my Epic ID, my sponsor, I'm the sponsor, then I have to decide in my tree, where would I place this new person? So if I'm at the top and I already have my 3 people, let's say I want to place my new person under person A. So I'm going to use their Epic ID and put that under placement ID. And as soon as I click update, then that new person will be placed under them. And as I said before, you definitely want to get connected to the Epic Signal Telegram. Now, for security reasons, I have all of these official links blanked out. But in the back office under Telegram, there are very specific instructions that will show you how to get connected. Basically, you're going to click on this link and it's going to open up a new Telegram for you that will connect you to the Epic Signal Telegram. And then you're going to make sure you follow the instructions. You're going to click start, and then the bot will ask you a few questions, your username, your Epic ID, and this screen here will tell you what all that information is, and then you'll be connected to our Signal Telegram. Now, if you're fortunate enough to be in Dominique Fontenot's downline, we have access to additional telegrams. Now, in order for us to do that, we need to make sure that we add our Epic ID to our Telegram settings. So I'll quickly go through the steps for the Android. You're going to, let me make sure you can see the whole screen. There we go. So when you open up Telegram for the Android, click on those 3 short horizontal lines, then click on settings, and then you'll be able to add your Epic ID to that bio field. And then finally for the iPhone, at the bottom, when you open up Telegram, you'll click on the settings icon, then you'll click on edit, and then you'll be able to add your Epic ID to your bio field. And that's it for getting started with Epic. There's lots more to come. We are just in the pre-launch stage, but let's get started. So give me a second and I will share the next set of slides. So in the few weeks that we've been here, in this class, we've gone over opening up your demo account, connecting. We use the example of Hugo's Way. That's just one example. We're also going to be showing you other brokers and showing you the screenshots to connect to those brokers as well, just so you'll have a variety, and there are lots to choose from. So we've gone through connecting your demo account onto MT4 after you download it on your phone. And then last week we went over TradingView and how to sign up for that, and just some basic instructions for being able to look at your chart. So in the chat, I'm going to place it again, the site for my YouTube. So if you want to go and watch those previous recordings, those will be there for you. So I see a question in the chat: will the university benefit French people as well with the live sessions? That's a good question, Joy. I'll have to get back with you. To my understanding, if I understand correctly, I know that the university, I think it will be in multiple languages. I don't know if that's going to roll out on October 1st. So I know that's in the plans, but it may take a little while for that to happen. Okay. Most people said that they could hear me just fine. Let me do another audio check. Place a 6 in the chat if you can hear me okay. If my audio is coming through clear, place a 6 in the chat. Okay, thanks, Chandra. Enjoy. Okay, just checking. All right, so what we want to do now is go through a quick review of how to take the trade, and then there's a lot more information I want to give you guys in terms of managing your trades. The traders are doing a fantastic job of sending out the signals in the Epic Forex signals chat, so we just want to make sure you guys are aware of what you can do with MetaTrader 4 to help sort of secure your profits and close a trade if you need to. Just some basic things like that. All right, so let's see. Give me a 1 in the chat if you do not know how to take a trade in MetaTrader 4. If everyone is comfortable with that, then I won't go through those slides. So put a 1 in the chat if you're super new, brand new, and you do not know how to place the trades in MetaTrader 4. All right, so it sounds like everyone is past that point. So let's go straight to what I wanted to focus on. So let's talk about lot sizes. And if you guys are a bit further along, then I can pull up risk to reward and we can talk about that as well. So I wanted to make sure you guys had a chart that talked about what the different lot sizes were. So just to refresh your memory, when you're entering in the trade, this is on an Android, for example, the lot size is the number here in black. The lot size is very important. It determines how much you make per trade. So back to the diagram. So the general rule of thumb that we use in the industry is use 0.01 lot size for every $100 that you have in your account. So that goes for your demo account, it goes for your live account. So if you are in live or demo, if you have $500 in your account, then for your trade, you can use a 0.05 for your lot size. If you set up the Hugo's Way demo that we went through, those demo accounts, we started at $1,000, so we would be at 0.10 for our lot size. That's called a mini lot, okay? So I wanted to go through this chart just so that you can understand how much you'll be earning or what the potential is when you win or lose a trade. So let's start at the beginning. Let's say that we're done with our demo account, or not done, but you're comfortable enough with it and you have started in your live account. Let's say you start that live account with $100. So that puts you here in that first row. So you will be using 0.01 for your lot sizes. And let's say we take our first trade and you're able to win 10 pips. Okay, so 10 pip trade, it's your win, you're in blue, you're good. So the question is, how much did we win? How much did you win from that first trade of 10 pips at 0.01? Well, a 0.01 micro lot will yield us 10 cents for every pip that we earned. So for this 10 pip trade, we earned $1. Now, don't sweat the small beginnings. We're going to learn how to compound our money and grow our account and eventually double it, and it's going to be really good. But just starting out, I want you to have a really firm expectation of what you can expect for every trade. So let's say that, and this rule of thumb, it is generally speaking, if you do a 0.02 with $100, that's okay. You could probably even do a 0.03. There is some flexibility there, but I want you to understand how much you can earn as well as what the risks are associated with that. So let's go through this example again. Let's say you have a $200 account and you are using 0.02. You win your first trade. It's only 10 pips. That's okay. You're happy with that. Now you're earning 20 cents per pip. So you earned $2 for that trade. Now let's move along. Let's say we're in our demo account. $1,000 is in that demo account. If we set it up through Hugo's Way, we are able to use 0.1, which is called a mini lot for our trade. So now for each of these trades, we're only doing 10 pips. I want to be consistent so that you can follow along. So if I win 10 trades with my $1,000 account, live or demo, I'm using 0.1. Every time price moves in my favor 1 pip, then I earn $1. So 10 pips nets me $10. Now, there is a caveat to this. We're going to talk about spread. If we don't cover it today, we'll do it next week. But generally, we're going to get $1 per pip. If I was using a 0.2 lot size, that same 10 pip trade now netted me $20. Remember the caveat, really, that we have to subtract out the spread, but we'll cover that later. So 0.5 with 10 pips, that one 10 pip trade, I earned $50. Now, 1.0, that's called a standard lot. If I'm able to use a standard lot on a 10 pip trade, every time price moves a pip, I earn $10. If price goes against my favor, then I'm losing $10. So if I win this 10 pip trade, then I just won $100. And if you're fortunate enough to be able to do multiple standard lots, 2.0 for a 10 pip trade win, then I'm going to win $200 for that one trade. So this is where it gets a little tricky for traders, because some traders will fall into the trap of wanting to use a bigger lot size that is not in this, that doesn't follow the general rule of thumb. But if the goal is to, double your account in one trade, you may be tempted to use the higher lot sizes. But just know that this column can also be a loss, because we know we won't win every trade. Even though we have fantastic master traders, to my knowledge, no one is 100%. So we will have trades that hit our stop loss, okay? So I want to talk about, we explained in the earlier slides how you actually take a trade. So let's say you set your take profit, you set your stop loss, and let's take a positive scenario. You're in blue and you decide, oh, wow, I'm so happy with my profit. I don't think I want to stay in the trade until it hits TP. I want to close it out now. I want to take my pips and go home. I had a TP set, but now I changed my mind. How do I close out this trade? So let's go through the steps first on an Android. So in this example that I'm showing on the screen, here's the trade that's running. So you hold it down and the menu will show you a close order. So you would hit that, and then MT4 is going to give you one more verification. If you close this trade, you're going to close with a profit or you're going to close with a loss. So wherever you are on this main screen, if you see a red here, let me use the arrow. If you see bring that to the front. So if you see a red number here, that means you are currently losing this trade or in the negative. If you see a blue number here, you are winning that trade or in the positive. So as soon as you close this order, whatever this value is going to transfer over here. So in this case, we're going to close with the profit. Now I am out of the trade. Winning or losing, I am out of the trade. Okay, and so for the iPhone, let's say I was in a UJ trade, I'm negative 20 cents. Maybe I made a mistake when I put the trade in. I didn't want to be trading UJ. I wanted to be trading AJ, AUDJPY. So you say, my bad, I need to just get out of this trade. Hold it down, click on close, and just like the Android, it's going to give you a verification step to say, okay, if you press this button, you're going to close with the loss. And here it's saying 19 cents. So from the time I opened up the trade until, 2 seconds later when I got to this screen, now I'm negative 19 cents. So close it out, and you have to take that loss of 19 cents. So I just wanted you guys to know how to manually close a trade in case you take it and either there's a mistake or you're winning and you don't want to stay in for your whole take profit, or flip side, maybe you're losing and you're like, maybe you're a little bit more advanced. You took a look at TradingView and you said, the writing is on the wall. I don't think this trade is going to turn around. I'm not going to stay in it all the way until my stop loss hits. I'm just going to exit now. So different scenarios for why you would want to manually close a trade. But I wanted you guys to know that, once you set the take profit and stop loss, if you do nothing else, then once the price hits either the stop loss or the take profit, it's going to close out. MT4 will close the trade out for you. But this puts you in control. So just know you have the power to close out a trade as well. All right, let me check on the time. It's 6:23. So normally I like to give some instruction for the first 20, 25 minutes or so, and then we'll go straight into Q&A. And you guys can come off mute, ask questions, type them in the chat if you want to. We can interact, and I can answer your questions that way. All right, we may go into Q&A a few minutes earlier. So what questions do you all have? I can also go into risk and reward, but let me see how the questions are going first. Okay, Joy has a question in the chat. How do I know that I have hit the, and then I can't read the rest, pip given? Joy, phrase that one more time for me. How do I know that I have hit is it the take profit? Is that what your question is, Joy? Feel free to come off mute if you're able to talk. How do I know that I have hit the pips given for your take profit? Because what's going to happen, I think I know what your question is. So here we're looking at the iPhone positions. This shows me all of my active trades. So if I'm looking at this screen on my iPhone, MT4, this says that I am in one UJ trade. So once this trade hits either my TP or my stop loss, it's no longer going to show here. And the only way that I'm going to know, well, first I can look at my balance. That's the first hint. It'll either be, if you won the trade, it'll be more than what you started with. If you lost it, it'll be less. But you can click on your history. Really cool tool. You can click on your history and you will see this UJ trade over there if it's already closed out. And it's going to let you know. I'm taking a look at mine. Yeah, it's going to let you know. It's going to have blue or red in that column to let you know if you won the trade or lost. All right. Hopefully I answered your question, Joy. If not, let me know and I'll try again. Any other questions? You guys want to come off mute? Hopefully you guys are all in demo or in your live accounts and taking these trades. So I want to know how it's been going, the first couple of weeks. If you have any questions about how the traders are calling the trades and how to enter those. I have seen some pending orders, so I want to create some slides so that we can go over sell limits, buy limits, sell stops, and buy stops. Absolutely, Joy. Come off mute.
Hello, everyone.
Hi, I can hear you.
Okay, thank you. My question is, when we receive the signal,
Yes.
it's written, they are giving us the pip, the number of pip, let's say 100 pip. And when I enter in the market, I just put,
When you enter
how do I know that I've reached those number? Those number of pip.
Oh, yeah, that's a really good question. We need to go over how to count pips. So give me a second, and I believe I have a slide deck that can help with that. Counting pips is so important. Let me see if I can find that. Joy, I'm so glad you asked that question. Excellent question. So let me share my screen and we can go over that. Okay, I wanted to make sure the screen had caught up. Let's talk about counting pips. So very important. And I think we can go over the spread as well. Chandra, I see your question in the chat. Don't let me forget about that. Counting pips. So let's say that this is the price that I'm looking at. 1.24683. This fourth digit behind the decimal is our pip value. This last digit is the pipette. We really don't have to worry about it. So we really want to pay close attention to this fourth digit after the decimal. So let's look at this example here on the bottom. So let's say I started my entry price. Starting price is also called your entry price. When you get into the market, where is price right then? So if my entry price is 1.2468 and my take profit is 1.2488, then I need to subtract, and this 88 minus 68 is going to give me my 20 pips. So when you're going for a buy, price is going to increase. Okay, so I went from 68 to 88, I netted 20 pips. Now let's take the other example if I'm selling. So I'm starting at 1.2468. If my TP, that's the nickname for take profit, if my TP is 1.2448, I've also netted 20 pips. I'm subtracting 48 from 68, and now I have 20 pips. Now, of course, you're going to see there are some exceptions to that. JPY pairs have only 2 places after the decimal. So it's a little bit different. So let's cover JPY. So that's going to be your UJ, your USD JPY, your AJ, your AUD JPY, NJ, NZD JPY, any kind of pair that has JPY in it, you're going to see a format like this. So we're going to look at the second place after the decimal. So let's say for my buy, I start at 76.10 and my take profit is 76.35. So if I do subtraction, 35 minus 10, that means I netted 25 pips. So let's do the reverse. Let's say I start at 76.10 and my take profit is 75.80. A little bit more math here, but that's going to net me 30 pips when I subtract. 1 second. Now, let's talk about the spreads, because this is important. Because what I just shared isn't the entire picture. There's something else we need to account for. So let's say I'm looking at, this is MT4 on the iPhone, and let's take a look at AUD NZD. So let me insert a shape here so I can use an arrow. So here's AUD NZD. If I'm on my advanced view, then I'm going to zoom in here. Underneath, it's showing me that my spread for AUD NZD is 70. Now that 0 is the pipette, so we don't have to count that. So my spread is basically 7. The spread is the number of pips that the broker will charge you to take a trade with that particular pair. So every pair is going to have a different spread. Brokers have different spreads in general. They're kind of like grocery stores. You can shop around to see who has the best spread. So if I want to trade AUD NZD, 7 is a little high for a spread. That means the difference in price here, 1.0220, 1.0227. Okay, so what does that mean if my spread is 7? It means that, I think I go over it here. So if remember this buy example, if I started at 2468 and I exited the trade at 2488, even though I earned 20 pips, I really earned 20 pips minus my spread. So if this was an AUD NZD, then I really only netted 13 pips because you have to pay the broker the spread. It's why when you first enter a trade, you're going to be negative. You're always going to be negative if there's a spread of 1 or more, because as price moves, the broker gets paid first. So win or lose, the broker gets their share right off the front. You have to pay them up front. So it's important, let me go back to this screen, to check the spread before you take the trade. Brokers are notorious for jacking up the spread at the beginning and ending of sessions. So if you start trading like right at 8 a.m. for New York session, spreads may be a little higher. You'll definitely see it close to 5 because that's the ending of the New York session. The spreads can be enormous at that time. And then when the market reopens in a little bit, maybe 30, 45 minutes later, 5:20, 5:30, the spreads will be back down to normal. So if you have not paid attention to that, you may want to. So here we're looking at the Android, and it's saying that, let's see, where is USD JPY? So take my arrow, here it is. So it's telling me that my spread is 2, because we can ignore the last digit. And you can see the difference in price, 107.49 and 107.51. So that means for UJ, if my goal is to net 20 pips, then I need to secure 22. That way I truly, truly earn 20 pips. If I want to earn 20 pips and I'm trading UJ and my spread is 2, then I'm really only going to get paid for 18 because the broker took the first 2. Let's see. How do you, Shannon has a question, how do you modify your ongoing trade? So remember, Shannon, when we talked about how to close a trade, let me go back to that. Let me give my screen a chance to catch up. Okay, so remember when we were in this UJ trade and we said, this was a mistake. I'm supposed to be trading AJ, not UJ. Let me close this trade. So this is an active trade. You hold the button down, you get your menu. If you don't want to close it, then you can just click modify. What can you modify? You can modify your stop loss. You can modify your take profit. You cannot modify your lot size. That's why it's so important to stay in demo until you're comfortable with entering it. Because remember, we talked about this page here. If you make a mistake with your lot size, there is no way to change that once you are in the trade. So, and that's super, super important. But you are able to, and here it is for an Android, modified order. So you can modify your stop loss and your take profit at any time, as many times as you want to. As a matter of fact, since we have some time, have you guys, I have another slide deck that's called trailing your stop loss. Have you guys heard the trader say, secure some profit or move your stop loss to entry? Have you guys heard phrases like that used by the traders? And perhaps wondered what they meant by that? Yeah, so that's a good example of why you would want to modify your trade. So let me think of the best way to share this. I may pull up that slide deck. 1 second. I think I have one that I can share. Great, I think I do. Trailing your stop loss. No problem, Shannon. 1 second, and I will share this with you. Trailing your stop loss. I wanted to not go into TradingView this week. I will show it on this slide deck, but it shouldn't be. You guys should be able to follow it. So let's say I am in a sell trade. So here is where I entered the trade. My entry is at this point. I'm selling, so I want price to fall. My take profit is here. My stop loss, because I'm in a sell, is above my entry. This is sort of the value of TradingView because you can get a picture of it. And you can see this in MT4 as well. I just love TradingView because it's on a bigger screen and I can change my colors and I have a lot of fun with it. So here's the scenario. Entry, take profit, stop loss. So when I entered here, and I'm going to check on what the question was in the chat. So basically what you want to do, you enter here. Now, as price begins to fall, notice the journey. It comes here, you're looking so good. Then you have a pullback, so you lost some, and then it falls and you hit your take profit. Now, as price does its thing, what we encourage you to
Tasha?
do, yes,
We can't see anything, it's blue. It's only written trailing your stop loss. Yes, now it's okay.
Okay, great. Yeah, because I'm watching it on my phone too, so I could see it. Is anyone else having issues, or are you guys able to see my screen?
I can see it clear.
Okay, great. Thank you. All right, so we're all on the same page now. So as price, let me take this arrow. We started here at the entry. As price takes its journey, the goal is not to leave your stop loss where it is that whole time, okay? So the goal is to trail. So let's say price, no, let's take profit. Let's say price, find the right arrow. Here we go. Let's say price moved here, right? When the traders say, move your stop loss to entry, they literally mean the price that you entered go into MT4 and set your stop loss so that it matches your entry price. And you know what the fabulous effect of that is? You cannot lose the trade. If anything, this is break even. You may not win if price comes back, you know, because we see here that price came here and pulled all the way back, not quite to our entry, but almost to our entry. But the good thing about moving your stop loss to entry is that now, no matter what happens, your account will not go negative. Okay, so now that we've covered spread, what you want to do is move your stop loss enough to cover your spread. So if my spread was 1 pip, then I want at least a 1 pip difference between my entry and stop loss. That way, that's truly break even. Because if you put your stop loss exactly where the entry is, that doesn't account for your spread. So you'll still have to pay the broker your spread. You'll be negative just a little bit if price kicks you out. But then the very next step is, let's say that my take profit was way down here. So I did the first step. As price, was moving along, I put my stop loss, another way to say it is, in front of your entry. And now it's no longer called stop loss. Now it's called stop profit. Because if price comes back and kicks you out, even if it's 1 pip, you're in profit. But here's what happens. As price is doing its thing and it's coming down, you want to take your stop loss and follow behind it. That's called trailing your stop loss. So here's your take profit, right? And as it comes down some more, your take profit is price is getting closer and closer. I'm sorry, your take profit doesn't move, price does. So your take profit, let's say, was down here. But as price moves, you want to follow behind it and keep moving your stop loss. So what this does is it guarantees that if price pulls back, it's going to stop you out in profit. And all of this, you will win no matter what happens. That's when trading is really fun and there's no pressure at all, because you no longer have a stop loss, you have a stop profit. So especially if you're in a longer trade, now, if you're going for 10 pips, this probably, won't apply that much. But for those longer trades, for those who want to stay in for TP2 and TP3, the first thing you want to do, and traders kind of have a general rule of thumb around 25 pips. When you're up about 25 pips, maybe 30 pips, maybe 40 pips, there's no exact number. It's all based on your preference. But when you're up 25, 30, 40 pips, that's when you want to modify your order in MT4 and edit out your stop loss and put it close to your entry. So this is really important for when you're taking your trades. Not only do you need to know how to close it out manually, how to modify it, but this is called trailing your stop. Now, if you're trading MT4 on your computer, there's a way for it to trail your stop for you, but I trade on my phone, so I just kind of manually do it. And you have that flexibility. You can be at the grocery store, you check your trade, you see, oh my gosh, I'm up 20, 30 bucks. You don't want to leave your stop loss behind you. You want to secure at least break even. So that's how you do that. Any questions about how to modify your stop loss and how to trail it?
Thank you, Tesha. As always, you're an amazing coach, and whenever you explain.
Oh.
So when you're moving your stop loss, to stop profit, basically changing numbers, right? So you have
Yes.
looking at the chart, changing your numbers, because okay.
Yep, and I'm so glad that I forget the young lady's name who asked about counting pips. You got to know how to count pips so that you know how many pips you're up. You know what I mean? So all of this kind of runs together. Know how to count your pips. You're just subtracting so that you know. And another way is if you're trailing at if your lot size is 0.01, then when you reach $3 in profit in blue, then that means you're up 30 pips. Now, that doesn't include the spread, but generally you're up 30 pips. So at 0.01, anything above $3, you're probably ready now to move your stop loss to entry. You know, if you're using a 0.1 lot size, then once you make 25, 30 bucks, now it's time to move your stop loss to just ahead of your entry. And so what I mean by just ahead of your entry, so if you're, let's see, do I have any examples here? So let me just type it in. So this is a JPY pair. So if my entry, because I can't tell exactly what that is, if that entry was 121.8, that was my entry price. Joy, I bet you're having internet connection issues. So if that was my entry price, 121.8, then when I'm, let's say 30 pips up, then I'm going to make my stop loss 121.7. Let's say I had a 1 pip spread. So this is called putting your stop loss in front of your entry. Because if I make it 0.8, if price kicks me out, that doesn't account for my spread. So I'm paying the broker for that spread anyway. But if I do 0.7 or even 0.6, then I'm guaranteed to not lose this trade. And not losing trades, you know, that's, I don't want to say just as important, but it is. It's just as important to not lose as it is to win. So be proud and pat yourself on the back if you have trades where you broke even, because that's better than a loss. The saying is you want to live to trade another day. So if you have break even trades, you know, consider that a positive. That's nothing to frown upon. That's something to be proud of. You are managing your trades. You're keeping your account alive so that you can live to trade another day. All right, we got a few minutes left. I think on this slide, there's another example. So if my entry is for a buy, then it's down here. My take profit is above and my stop loss is below. Because for a buy, you want price to go up. So in case it falls, your stop loss is going to be below. So let's say, here's my entry price. Let me do another arrow. So let's say that price does its thing and it kind of falls below. So it's a little nerve wracking when the trade opens, but this is its reversal point. So now it reaches this point and I'm feeling positive about the trade. So now I take my stop loss and I move it here. Okay. Price has a little bit of consolidation, goes up and down, and then it, you know, when it reaches here, then I'm probably going to take my stop loss, and this is called trailing it. So now I'm following behind it. So whatever this price is, 1.2100, I'm on my phone, I'm modifying my stop loss. And then on this very next candle, price shoots straight up to my take profit. So this is how we manage our trades. And here's another tip / secret, and a lot of traders do this. If you see, like, this is called a bullish engulfing candle. This is a strong candle. So if I have an inkling that, price is getting really, really bullish, I may, and I do this myself, I say, I think this trend is going to continue. If you want to, you can actually take off your take profit. And as price moves up, you just keep trailing your stop. Wrong button. You just keep moving that stop loss up. Okay, so what if you just take your take profit off? Now, if you're a brand new trader, 2 straight weeks in the market, I wouldn't, recommend this. But I am giving you guys another option. If you take off your take profit, and if you are able to watch the trade, then you can just keep trailing your stop loss. And what happens? When price falls back here, it kicks you out of the trade, but this is a stop profit. So instead of having your take profit set here, there's nothing wrong with, Dominique Fontenot always says, you can't go broke taking profit. So there's nothing wrong with securing your pips and leaving the trade. There is nothing wrong with that. Highly recommended. If you're feeling adventurous and you want to try it out, if you're able to keep continually moving your stop loss, you can trail the market and you can just keep going and ride that trend all the way out. Because sometimes, and it's not a bad thing, typically you're safest when you go for TP1, but then you have that kind of slightly sick feeling when you hear the next day that price hit TP4 and you say, wow, I'm happy with my TP1, but I could have had, almost 4 times as much. So one way to do that is after you, now you definitely don't want to hit TP1 and have your stop loss, down here. You definitely want to keep securing your profits if you're going to go for multiple TPs. That's the safe thing to do. But it just gives you something to look forward to or to work towards. If you're more conservative and want to get your TP1, pip and dip, TP1 and close the trade, that's fine too. Different styles for different traders. Let me see are there any more questions in the chat or live? Feel free to come off mute and ask away. Let's see. All right. Okay, so I wanna poll everyone that's here. Put a 8 in the chat if you are actively trading in your demo account and taking the trade signals from the traders. An 8 in your in the chat. Or put a 9 in the chat if you are in your live account. Okay, Chandra, great. Just started a demo. Is anyone in their live account? Okay, Shannon is. Anyone else? An 8 if you're trading in your demo, a 9 if you're trading in your live account. Is there anyone on the call who does not have their, no problem, Chandra, no problem. Take your time. Take your time. Make all the mistakes that you want to in your demo account. Demo account, great. Is there anyone ultra new who does not yet have their demo account? Put a 10 in the chat if you don't have your demo account yet. All right. I'm unable to use my demo account because I don't have access to the back office group. So Sarah, which broker were you doing a demo account with? Were you using Hugo's Way or some other broker?
Robo Forex.
Okay, I'm not as familiar with them. If you wanted to, right now I have examples for Hugo's Way, but I will be creating some other slides for LQDFX because that one's good for indices with small accounts, as well as some other ones. Okay, Mel, great. You just opened the demo. So Sarah, are you open to starting a demo account with someone else so that you can get started? You can have multiple demo accounts.
Oh, sure, sure.
Okay.
So you said Hugo?
Yeah, and I actually, we have a few minutes left. Let me show you. I have a slide deck that I can show you.
Okay.
Here we go. Setting up your demo account. Make sure you guys can see it. Okay, great. So here are a list of some brokers that are pretty good. So if you want to do Hugo's Way, here's the site that you can go to, hugosway.com/demo-sign-up. Fill in your name, email address. I like 500 for leverage, demo or live account, and $1,000. I don't like the demo accounts that give you like $100,000 because your lot sizes are so big, and that's not realistic for most of us when we start our live account. So if you want to go this route, 500 for leverage, 1,000 for your balance, hit submit. Hugo's Way will send you a confirmation email, and I recommend trading on your phone to start off. And so if you have an iPhone or Android, you can just click the appropriate link and download MT4 on your phone. And there's one more set of slides that you need, and you'll be all set to start trading. 1 second. So the next step, and then you'll be ready to take the trade. The next step is to connect that demo account that you just created on Hugo's Way, and you want to connect that. Do you have an iPhone or Android? Because I can show both.
An Android. So I did all of those steps. I connected it to MT4 and stuff, but because I haven't gotten a reply in the back office group, I'm having issues. Like to even practice trading with the demo account.
So, with the other broker that you mentioned?
Yeah.
So
I'm not getting signals. I'm not getting signals like to just practice.
So with the Epic, you're not connected to the Telegram. You know how to take the trade. You're just not getting the signals.
Yeah.
I got you. So are you able to log into your back office?
Yeah, I did that.
Okay, and did you go to the Telegram? Because they've changed it. Now they have really, really specific instructions that show you what to do, because it was a little confusing.
Okay, I saw click on the link, select start, and then type in your ID. So I was just about to do that. I did it, but I'm still yet to get a response. So I was just wondering.
Yeah, that you're on the right track. Just do that and it's going to tell you your username and your Epic ID. So I think it'll work for you now.
Okay, all right. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Okay.
Any last question or two before we disconnect? Let me go back to the chat. Is Hot Forex a good broker? Byron, I have not used Hot Forex. I've used FX Choice, Hugo's Way, FX Glory, LQDFX, to name those, but I don't know about Hot Forex. I've heard about it, but I can't even remember what I heard. So unfortunately, I don't have an opinion about hot Forex. Here's the good thing, guys. You can have multiple brokers. Most of us do. So, you know, I don't see any harm. Definitely Google, because there are the thing that you want to avoid is signing up with a broker who has a bad reputation for you withdrawing your funds and you not being able to withdraw your funds. That's the main thing. You have 8 brokers. I hear you, Shannon. Yeah, I hear you. You know, the spreads, I use Hugo's Way because I want to be able to trade indices and crypto. So not all brokers have the indices and the crypto pairs. So that's why I use Hugo's Way. But in talking to Damo, LQDFX has indices, and you can trade indices on a $50 account. So I'm really excited about doing a video so that more people can trade indices and take his trades. So I'm excited about that. I should have that ready hopefully by the next class. Joy, let me post my YouTube link again, and then you can absolutely watch the recording. So Chandra, LQDFX is going to be great for a very small account. Now, $100, it depends on what you want to trade. That'll be great for Forex pairs. If you want to trade indices, you'll have to do LQDFX, because with $50, you can trade Germany 30 or US 30. You'll only be able to take one trade, but with Damo's trades, that's, you know, you can easily double that account in just one trade. Easy. Really close to even TP1. So 1 second, Joy, and I will post that link again for my YouTube site. I should have it uploaded by tomorrow morning, if not later tonight. So Chandra, I am going to make it my goal to have the video for LQDFX ready by next week, to have those steps lined up. Once you do one broker, signing up with them is pretty standard. They all kind of have the same kind of flow. So it shouldn't be too bad. All right, everyone. It's been a great class. Thank you for coming. Byron, we will be here again next Tuesday at 6 p.m. Eastern. And this class will be uploaded by either late tonight or in the morning on my YouTube site if you want to review it. So good night, everyone. All right, me too, Chandra. Good night, everyone. I'll talk to you later. Thank you, Shannon. Thank you very much. Bye, guys.